In the year 1337, a war ignited that would burn across Europe for more than a century. A war not of religion or resources, but of pride, power, and dynasties. It was the 100 Years' War. It began with a broken royal lineage, a contested crown, and a deep-seated rivalry between two kings, Edward III of England and Philip VI of France. When the French king died without a direct male heir, Edward, grandson of the French king through his mother, claimed the throne of France. But the French nobles refused. They crowned Philip VI instead, igniting a conflict that would last for 116 years. England launched the war with both ambition and innovation. Edward III's forces, though smaller, had a secret weapon, the longbow. At the Battle of Crécy, English archers decimated the heavily armored French cavalry. It was a turning point, not just of the battle, but of warfare itself. In 1340, at the Battle of Sluys, England destroyed the French fleet, seizing control of the Channel. By 1356, Edward's son, the Black Prince, captured the French king, John II, at the Battle of Poitiers. France was in chaos, and the English secured the Treaty of Bretigny in 1360, gaining vast territories in Aquitaine. France was wounded but not broken. Under Charles V, known as the Wise, the French began to recover. While the English were weakened by internal strife in the Black Death, France slowly reclaimed land, pushing back English forces without grand battles, only strategy. The English economy struggled, morale faltered, and the war waned for a time. In 1415, a new king, Henry V, brought war back to France with fury. At the Battle of Agincourt, Henry's outnumbered army slaughtered thousands of French knights trapped in the rain-soaked mud. It was a massacre and a message. France, again in turmoil, saw its crown handed over to Henry through the Treaty of Troyes, 1420. The French Dauphin, heir to the throne, was declared illegitimate. Henry married the French princess and by treaty became heir to France. But then, from a small village in Domremy, came a peasant girl who would change everything. Joan of Arc claimed that God had sent her to save France. Mocked by some, revered by others, she convinced the Dauphin to give her command. In 1429, she led French forces to a miraculous victory at the Siege of Orléans. The tide had turned. Joan became the symbol of French resistance. She led Charles de Reims, where he was crowned King Charles VII, fulfilling her divine mission. But in 1430, she was captured by the Burgundians, French allies of the English. They handed her over to the English, who tried her for heresy. At 19, she was burned alive in Rouen, but her spirit could not be extinguished. She became a martyr and later a saint. After Joan's death, France rallied. Inspired by her sacrifice, Charles VII reclaimed territory, city by city. The English, plagued by civil war at home, the Wars of the Roses, could not hold on. In 1453, after the Battle of Castillon, the 100 Years' War finally ended. England retained only Calais, and the dream of an English crown in France vanished forever. France emerged battered but united. Joan, once condemned, was later canonized in 1920, becoming one of France's greatest heroines. The 100 Years' War was not just one war, but a generation-spanning saga of ambition, identity, and resilience. It marked the end of chivalry, the rise of nationalism, and the dawn of modern warfare. And in its heart lies the story of a girl who defied kings and fate, armed only with faith. Joan of Arc did not survive the war, but her courage helped end it. This is not just the story of a war, it is the story of how nations were born and heroes made eternal. Subscribe to learn more forgotten stories that shaped our world.